Okay, I have a couple more questions here. One from Ben. How has China's policies towards climate change been affected by its growth as a major imperialist power?
Right, so that's a very interesting question. As many of you may know, China is actually a very major player in the solar industry. And that was sort of an industry that was relatively technologically advanced, where it was able to invest heavily in, because a lot of Western countries, by contrast, were much more heavily already invested in fossil fuel technology, and therefore were not investing heavily in it. And so, in part, that drive into its production of solar energy was motivated by this effort to carve out a market niche. I think this has led to a lot of people sort of mistakenly viewing this as an idea that China can save us from climate change through its solar production, because one of the other large factors that goes into this is that as China has been expanding the Belt and Road Initiative, one of the large drivers of the Belt and Road Initiative is the construction of power plants, and it's predominantly coal plants that are being constructed across places like Pakistan and Central Asia and Eastern Africa. You have a lot of construction of fossil fuel infrastructure, natural gas, oil. China is becoming a major, it's one of the largest fossil fuel users in the world. It has currently the largest greenhouse gas emissions in the world, though of course not, accumulated, but in terms of the per year. And so as China has developed as a major investor in the world, it started to, engage in fossil fuel capitalism around the world. At the same time that it's sort of developing this heavy investment in solar industry, specifically as a means of gaining access to a high-tech field that was relatively underinvested into. And so I think, to a large extent, the role that China plays in both fossil fuel and green energy production are both heavily tied to its development as an imperialist power.